Hi, I'm Colonel Mike Place, and as most of you may know, we've gone through some major changes at Madigan. I want to take some time to address the concerns that you've shared with me, our patient advocates, clinical staff, and on social media regarding our recent transition to MHS Genesis, our new electronic health record. Let me start by acknowledging that some of you are frustrated with all of the changes with our new system. We hear you. And by we, I don't just mean the folks who manage our Facebook page or our patient advocates who receive your complaints. All levels of leadership here at Madigan are acutely aware of how this impacts your care. We share your feedback and are making strides toward correcting the problems when possible and addressing them as best we can when not. If you've recently been here, you may think that we've doubled or even tripled our staff. Well, that's sort of the case. We've been joined by a number of experts from the MHS Genesis contractor to help guide our staff to ensure the safety of your patient information and learn how to document in the new system. But I'd be doing you a great disservice if all I talked about was our progress and didn't give you the details straightforward. Here's the bottom line. Madigan patients will experience the slowing of certain services and offerings at the hospital until we've mastered MHS Genesis and it's working fully as it's intended to. First, let's talk about appointments. When we first launched MHS Genesis on October 21st, our appointment setting system experienced a setback, and patients were not able to call the appointment line or use their patient portal to schedule appointments. This remains a work in progress. First, we were able to bring our primary care appointments online, but as we stated before we launched, the number of available appointments for the first few months after our transition are limited. A week or so later, we were able to make specialty clinics available. In addition, our online appointment booking through the patient portal will not be fully functional for another several weeks. We will be increasing the number of appointments as quickly as we possibly can, knowing that you have ongoing medical needs. So what can Madigan patients do to get medical care? Well, there are several options if there are no available appointments with your primary care provider. Until November 20th, our patients can visit any TRICARE Network urgent care clinic for acute medical issues without cost. You don't need a PCM referral. For non-acute concerns, you can make an appointment with a TRICARE Network primary care clinic. Again, no referral from your PCM is required. There are several patient categories and medical conditions and symptoms that are not eligible for these options, the biggest being our active duty patients. For more information on our urgent and primary care off-post options during this transition, please log on to the Madigan website. You'll find everything you need to know about these options there. While I appreciate your desire to get your care here at Madigan, I urge you to use these off-base options if you need care and cannot get an appointment. And in cases of true emergencies, please head to your nearest emergency room. If you're not sure if your circumstance is an emergency, of course you can see us in Madigan's ER. However, if your condition can wait for a visit to an urgent care clinic or a primary care provider, we ask that you not come to the ER, as these types of visits extend the wait times for those who may have urgent needs. Don't forget that the TRICARE Nurse Advice Line is also available 24/7 if you need advice on what you can do for self-care or deciding if you need to go to urgent care or the ER. Secondly, I want to address the wait times you're experiencing at Madigan, particularly in the pharmacy. All of us collectively will experience growing pains with this one. While you're waiting, our staff has a number of additional steps to take to correctly process your medication in MHS Genesis, more than they did in the old system. Over the course of the next several weeks, our staff will master this process and the wait time will decrease. Until then, we appreciate your patience and understanding. This circumstance is not ideal for you, nor is it for us, so I want to thank both our patients and pharmacy staff for their patience as we perfect the system. Thirdly, everything we told you about MHS Genesis Patient Portal is true, and you will be able to use it and its many features in the near future. Right now, you can log into your patient portal and view your current health record. If you haven't checked it out, please do so and verify the information in your record. If you need assistance with accessing the portal, we have help desks set up in the medical mall and our staff can walk you through it step by step. You can also get information on the Madigan website. For the next few weeks, patients will not be able to use the online appointment feature in the patient portal. Patients will, however, be able to use the portal's secure messaging system once their provider is loaded into the system. Until we load future appointments into MHS Genesis and match all of our patients with their correct providers and care teams, the patient portal won't be fully functional. Now, To answer a perfectly reasonable question that's been asked of us, knowing the number of issues that we might encounter, why did we switch the system at all? Well, the simple answer to that question is that we were given the mission to do so. The Department of Defense identified the Pacific Northwest as the place to launch, and Madigan is the large hospital here. But that doesn't really fully cover it. For the last 2 years, Madigan has prepared for this transition, identifying areas that needed to be conformed in this commercial product to the military healthcare delivery system. We've been working with the system developers to address all of those areas. When our Air Force and Navy partners launched MHS Genesis at Fairchild Air Force Base and Naval Hospitals Bremerton and Oak Harbor, we learned from their successes and their setbacks. We're still learning and partnering and growing this incredibly capable system. For those who don't know, the launch of MHS Genesis was delayed 2 times because the system simply was not ready for us to launch. Madigan will ensure MHS Genesis is right. There's no way around it. It's up to us to ensure that this system functions properly for all of military medicine in all specialties and for all patients of the military health system across the world. This system has been authorized and funded by Congress to streamline healthcare services across the different military branches and ultimately provide seamless integration with the VA. We're experiencing growing pains here, so that when the next set of military hospitals launch MHS Genesis, they and their patients will have a fully functional and nearly perfected system. It may not seem fair to some Madigan patients, but I ask that you trust in Madigan's commitment to excellence, patient safety, and quality care. We will get it right for the sake of our entire military family. What we need is your patience, understanding, and support in the weeks to come as we get it right. In the end, once the entire military health system has migrated to MHS Genesis, healthcare delivery and military treatment facilities, unit aid stations, combat support hospitals, and everywhere else our military provides medical care will be seamless, secure, and most importantly, safer. Please continue to give us your feedback. What's worked great are the comments and messages we received on Facebook. We monitor our social media pages around the clock. However, you can also connect with our patient advocates at 253-968-1145. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will always appreciate your feedback. We'll keep you updated on our progress with MHS Genesis. Until then, care with compassion.